Do you ever feel like you know all the grammar rules?
Oh yeah, totally. I memorize verbs and conjunctions.
But then, when you need to speak, your mind just goes totally blank.
Exactly. I freeze up, right? It's like my brain says, wait, where's the past perfect continuous tense?
Yes, that hesitation, that block, is what we're talking about today.
That feeling is super common for English learners at the A2 and B2 level especially.
So, welcome everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia. Welcome to the English Blend.
We help you learn English through realistic, easy-to-understand conversations.
Today's topic is super important. Story retelling practice.
We are focusing on how to stop freezing up and just start talking.
We want you to feel comfortable communicating, even if it's not perfect.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started.
Our main theme today is focusing on fluency over accuracy.
That sounds good, but what do those two words really mean, Mia?
That's a great question. We hear them all the time in language learning, right?
We do, and sometimes people mix them up.
Let's start with accuracy. Accuracy is about being correct.
It means using the right grammar, the perfect vocabulary, and the correct pronunciation.
Think of accuracy as getting 100% on a grammar test. It's about perfection.
It's important for writing formal reports, for example.
Yes, or maybe for an exam where every comma counts. That's accuracy.
Okay, I understand accuracy. It's the rules.
Now, fluency is different. Fluency is about communication and flow.
It's how smoothly you can talk without long pauses, without stopping every 2 seconds.
Fluency means that the listener can understand your message easily.
It doesn't mean you don't make any mistakes. That's the key difference.
Absolutely. You can be fluent and still make small grammatical errors. That's totally fine.
So if I'm ordering a coffee at a cafe, what matters more?
Fluency. If you say, "I want a coffee, please," and they give you the coffee, you succeeded.
Even if I accidentally said I wants a coffee, they still understood me, right?
They absolutely understood your point. That's successful communication. That's fluency.
If I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out the perfect conditional tense for ordering a coffee, I would probably be very thirsty.
And the person behind the counter would be very confused.
Exactly. That's why we say fluency equals communication, not perfection.
This focus on perfection is often the biggest block for learners.
It usually comes down to grammar.
Right. The second part of our discussion is, why does grammar block fluency?
Because we learn so many rules. There are exceptions to every rule.
When you speak, you are under pressure. It's real-time communication.
You don't have time to stop and think, is this a mass noun or a count noun?
If you are constantly monitoring your speech for perfection, you slow down. You hesitate, you pause, and you lose the flow of the conversation.
This is called overanalysis or paralysis by analysis.
That's a great phrase. So, you analyze so much that you become paralyzed.
Yes, you are trying to construct a perfect sentence in your head.
But by the time you construct the perfect sentence, the conversation has moved on.
Or you forget what you were going to say in the first place.
I've done that so many times. I get lost in the grammar structure.
This is particularly common when trying to retell something, like retelling a movie plot or describing your weekend plans.
You start and you think, wait, was this action finished? Should I use the simple past or the present perfect?
And bam, instant silence. The fluency just disappears.
The goal of storytelling is moving the narrative forward. It's about expressing the sequence of events.
It's about making sure the listener gets the general idea of what happened.
If you use the simple past for everything, but the story is interesting and clear, you are fluent.
Your listener doesn't really care about the perfect tense usage. They care about the story.
Let me give you a quick story example, focusing on communication. This is a cultural note, actually.
I love cultural notes. What have you got?
Think about language learners who travel, maybe to a big city like New York or London.
Okay, imagining myself there now, feeling a little nervous about speaking.
Suppose you are in a shop and you need to explain that the shirt you bought has a small hole.
A common real-life scenario.
You go to the counter, and maybe you mix up the genders. You say, my friend, she bought him this shirt.
Oh, classic mistake with pronouns.
Or maybe you say, I was went yesterday, mixing up the verb forms.
A clear grammatical error.
However, you hold up the shirt, you point to the hole, and you use strong communicative body language.
And you clearly state, hole here, I need refund.
The shop assistant understands immediately that the shirt is damaged and you need money back.
Communication successful. Fluency over accuracy won that round.
Exactly. The grammatical mistake did not stop the core message from getting your point across.
Ah, that's our first useful phrase for today, to get your point across.
Yes, when you get your point across, it means you successfully communicate your intended message, regardless of minor errors.
So the goal is always to get your point across.
We need to train our brains to prioritize message delivery over grammatical perfection.
How do we actually do that, though? It sounds easy, but it's hard in practice.
That brings us to our practical tips section. We have a few real steps you can start today.
Perfect. Give us the steps.
Practical tip number 1, massive listening and shadowing.
Massive listening meaning listening a lot, right?
Yes, listen to English constantly. Podcasts, YouTube, TV shows. Don't just listen, though.
You mean we should actively engage?
We need to do shadowing. This means repeating what you hear immediately after the speaker.
So the speaker says, I went to the store, and I instantly say, I went to the store.
Exactly. You are literally copying their rhythm, their tone, and their speed.
You are not thinking about the grammar, you are just focusing on the sound of the language.
This helps build muscle memory for common structures. It trains your mouth and brain to work together automatically.
If you do this with a native speaker telling a story, you practice retelling instantly.
Start small, shadow a sentence, then shadow 2 sentences, then shadow a whole paragraph.
It feels a little weird at first, but it is incredibly effective for fluency.
It builds automaticity. Your brain stops translating and starts just saying.
That makes sense. Okay, what's tip number 2?
Practical tip number 2, learn in chunks, not single words.
Ah, chunking. This is a very common technique.
It's crucial for fluency. Instead of learning the word look and the word forward and the word to separately,
You learn the whole phrase, I'm looking forward to, as one single unit.
that whole unit, that chunk, comes out of your mouth automatically when you need it.
It takes away the need to construct the grammar every single time. The grammar is built into the chunk.
Think about common small talk. Nobody builds the sentence, how are you doing, word by word.
We just say it. It's a single unit of communication.
Storytelling is full of chunks. Phrases like, once upon a time, or it turns out that, or before I knew it.
If you learn these chunks, your retelling will flow much more easily.
Practice putting 5 chunks together to describe your morning.
For example, I woke up. Before I knew it, I was late. It turns out that my alarm didn't go off. I had to rush out the door.
Perfect. That was fluent. Even if you made a small slip up in the middle, the chunks carried the meaning.
That really reduces the mental load.
It does. It frees up your brain power for more important things, like what you want to communicate next.
Okay, tip number 3, please.
Practical tip number 3, the 3-second rule.
Ooh, I like the sound of a rule, but what kind of rule is this?
This rule is designed to fight that paralysis we talked about earlier.
The grammar block.
Exactly. When you are speaking and you hesitate or stop to think about grammar,
Which happens all the time.
you have 3 seconds. If you cannot find the perfect word or perfect tense within 3 seconds, you must say something.
Say anything, even if it's wrong.
Yes, just keep going. Use a simpler word. Use a filler like, you know.
So the priority is maintaining the flow, not achieving perfection.
That's it. It trains your brain to accept imperfection.
If I'm trying to say, I saw an enormous, majestic bear yesterday, but I forget majestic,
You have 3 seconds. Say, I saw a very big bear yesterday. Done. Move on.
if I stop for 5 seconds, the conversation is dead.
The listener's already thinking about their phone, you know. The 3-second rule forces you to stay present and keep communicating.
That is excellent advice for story retelling because stories need momentum.
If you stop the momentum, the story loses impact.
Okay, we have massive listening/shadowing, learning in chunks, and the 3-second rule. That's 3 great tips.
Let's add one more, which relates directly to our title. Practical tip number 4, daily retelling practice.
This is the core skill we are focusing on.
Every day, watch a short video, read a short article, or listen to a short conversation.
Maybe a 2-minute video about cooking or a 5-minute podcast clip.
Yes, immediately afterward, tell that story to yourself out loud.
Out loud is important, right? Not just thinking it.
Very important. You must use your vocal muscles. Tell the story to a mirror, a friend, a wall, or your cat.
The cat usually listens without judgment.
Right. The point is not who listens, but the action of speaking.
When you retell, focus only on the main events and the message. Don't worry about the specific words or grammar the source used.
Use your own simple words. If you forget a complex word, substitute it with something simple you know well.
This is pure fluency practice. You are moving information from input, listening, to output, speaking, without the grammar filter.
The more you do this, the faster your brain finds the necessary words and the fewer blocks you will experience.
It's building a bridge between knowledge and actual application.
Let's talk about a few useful phrases that can help us accept imperfection and keep going.
Our language focus. We already talked about get your point across.
Our second phrase is very useful when we feel frustrated or stuck. To hit a wall.
To hit a wall. What does that mean in an everyday context?
Imagine you are running and you feel great, but suddenly you get extremely tired and cannot continue. You hit a wall.
In language learning, it means reaching a point where you feel completely stuck, frustrated, or unable to progress.
Maybe you are retelling a story and you cannot remember the key vocabulary word. You hit a wall.
Or maybe you've been studying for 6 months and suddenly you feel like you are learning nothing new. That's also hitting a wall.
It's a very natural feeling, Leo. Everyone hits a wall in any long-term effort.
So, if I start a story retelling exercise and I stop completely because I don't know the past participle, I've hit a wall.
Yes, you stop the flow because of the mental block.
The solution is to remember the 3-second rule and try to push through the wall with a simpler expression.
Exactly. Don't let the wall defeat you. Just climb over it using a simple word.
Okay, that phrase is very useful for describing that specific frustration.
Our third and final phrase is crucial for dealing with mistakes. It's not the end of the world.
I hear this one a lot.
It's not the end of the world means that whatever happened, it's not serious or catastrophic.
It's a way to minimize the importance of a mistake or a small failure.
If you make a grammar mistake when ordering food and the waiter slightly misunderstands you, it's not the end of the world.
You can simply clarify. You can point. You can repeat it differently.
If you are retelling a story to a colleague and you confuse two different characters, it's not the end of the world.
The main objective, communication, is still possible.
This phrase helps you relax and take the pressure off yourself.
Because a big part of achieving fluency is relaxing your mental state.
If you are constantly afraid of making an error, you will always hit a wall.
If you remember that even a big mistake is not the end of the world, you can keep the flow going.
So let's circle back to the overall mindset for story retelling.
The mindset is simple. Fluency equals communication, not perfection.
We need to train our bodies and our voices, not just our memory for rules.
We want our language to become automatic, like riding a bicycle.
Think about when you drive a car. You don't think about every tiny movement of the steering wheel. It's automatic. You focus on the road and where you need to go.
English communication should be the same. Focus on the message, the destination, and let the small mechanisms handle themselves.
Let's review those 4 practical tips for everyone. Tip 1. Massive listening and shadowing to build automatic rhythm and tone.
Tip 2. Learning in chunks, so you don't have to build every sentence from scratch.
Tip 3. The 3-second rule to force yourself to keep speaking and avoid paralysis.
And tip 4.
daily retelling practice, speaking out loud, focusing on the main message.
Remember those useful phrases too.
Aim to always get your point across.
If you feel stuck, remember you might have hit a wall, but you can push through it.
And above all, if you make a mistake, remember, it's not the end of the world.
Your goal in retelling is to share information, to entertain, or to inform.
Not to pass a grammar exam in front of a live audience.
Use simple, everyday English. Don't try to use a super complex vocabulary word you only read once.
Use the words you know well. Use them fluently.
Let's expand on the 3-second rule with a work example.
I think the work environment causes the most anxiety for learners.
Imagine you are presenting a summary of last week's sales figures.
High pressure. You need to sound professional.
You want to say the quarterly report clearly demonstrates that our performance surpassed initial expectations.
A nice formal sentence.
But you forget the word demonstrates. It's gone.
Uh-oh. 3 seconds, start now. 1, 2.
Instead of freezing, you say, the report clearly shows that our performance went above what we expected.
Much simpler vocabulary, but the message is 100% clear. You got your point across.
You didn't stop, and your colleagues understood the positive results. That's success.
If you had frozen for 10 seconds, the whole presentation would have lost its energy.
The trick is preparation. If you learn chunks, like clearly shows that phrase is ready to go automatically.
So the chunks feed the 3-second rule. They are connected.
They absolutely are. It's all about creating shortcuts for your brain.
What if someone hits a wall really hard, Mia? What if they can't even say a simple word?
That happens. Maybe they are extremely tired, or maybe the topic is genuinely too advanced.
So, what's the immediate action?
Take a deep breath. Use a filler phrase. Say, hold on, I lost my place. Or, let me rephrase that.
Those are great natural fillers we should practice. Let me rephrase that.
Then, restart the story using the simplest possible sentences. Use present tense if you are struggling with past tenses.
Because a simple sentence in the wrong tense is better than silence.
Much, much better. Silence is the anti-fluency.
I think people often forget that native speakers make mistakes too.
Oh, we make mistakes constantly. We mispronounce words, we use bad grammar and casual speech, we restart sentences.
The difference is we don't hit a wall and stop. We just keep flowing.
We use fillers, we correct ourselves instantly, and we move on. Because for us, we know it's not the end of the world.
That is the ultimate goal for A2 and B2 learners, to develop that acceptance and resilience.
Let's focus on the shadowing technique again, because I think it's the most effective for building speed.
How long should we shadow every day?
Start with 5 to 10 minutes. Consistency is better than intensity. 5 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a month.
And what kind of material should they choose?
Something simple, engaging, and spoken at a natural but not lightning-fast speed. Maybe a short TED Talk or a fun vlog.
Something where the speaker is telling a story or describing something.
Yes, focus on material that tells a story because that prepares you for story retelling practice.
When I shadow, I notice I start picking up on stress and intonation naturally.
That's the magic. You are absorbing the music of the English language, not just the rules.
And the music helps the fluency flow.
Think of fluency like playing a musical instrument. You don't pause between notes to check the theory book.
You practice the whole scale until it's automatic. The scale is your chunk.
Exactly. And the retelling is the performance.
So the retelling practice needs to be daily, even if it's just telling yourself the plot of your favorite TV show.
Or telling your pet what you ate for breakfast. Make it a habit.
If you practice every day, within a few weeks, you will see a massive improvement in your flow and confidence.
You will realize that you are prioritizing getting the message across.
And the small errors don't bother you anymore because you know it's not the end of the world.
We want learners to move away from the anxiety that every word must be perfect.
That anxiety is what creates the communication block.
By focusing on practical steps like chunking and the 3-second rule, we dismantle that anxiety brick by brick.
And the ultimate practice, the daily retelling, reinforces the new fluent behavior.
If you are at the B2 level, try retelling a slightly more complex story, maybe a news report.
If you're closer to A2, retell a simple children's story or a simple comic strip.
Adapt the material to your level, but always do the retelling out loud.
And remember to use your simple, everyday English. Don't worry about trying to sound too formal.
Use language that is natural and accessible.
The goal is always conversation.
Let's review those 3 key phrases one last time.
Main goal is always to get your point across.
Phrase 2. If you feel stuck, you might have hit a wall. Find a way around it.
Phrase 3. If you make a mistake, remember it's not the end of the world.
Great advice, Mia. This has been a very practical episode on achieving communication success.
Remember, practice retelling today. Start right now by telling someone what you learned from this episode.
Yes, try to retell the 4 tips and the 3 phrases we discussed. Do it in under 60 seconds.
That's a great challenge for Fluency. Can you get your point across?
We believe in you. Keep practicing that communication flow.
That was a great talk.
Yes. See you in the next episode of The English Blend.